Alrighty, guys. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I am so happy to see you guys back. I'm happy to see a lot of new names in the chat. That's great. So let's get started. Well, today we are talking about IWP ready assets and how to make them. And hello, for everybody who do not know me, let me introduce myself. My name is SpaceGlitterUnicorn. I am the creator of Fairies in the Trees, and I'm also a collaborator on a lot of wonderful worlds made by a lot of people in the community, a lot of fantastic creators in our world, our Horizon worlds. Okay, so first we're going to go over the skills matrix, and then we're going to go over what makes a good IWP item. And yeah, let's talk about it. Next, after that would be the basic asset blockout, kind of like blocking out the object, making sure that we have the right ratio throughout the whole model. Is really easy and really will help you solidify your build following through. Keeping it simple. After that, we're going to finalize the design and have it ready to be imported into Horizon. In the skill matrix, basically this session will be in the art domain, and the subset, the subdomain would be the assets. And this is important info. This session is recorded. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to ask any questions. Use the Discord chat and stay engaged. Teamwork makes the dream work. So please definitely in the chat help each other. We are a fantastic community, and seriously, like if you have a question, there are no silly questions. So please feel free to do so. And yeah, let's keep this conversation going. So, value to the player. The item should enhance gameplay and provide unique advantages or offer aesthetic customization that feels worth the purchase. Appealing design. The item should be visually attractive, themed to the game, and easy to understand or use. Fun. I think we all like to have fun, so a silly item will definitely go a long way. And it just, I don't know, something to giggle at, just raises the endorphins and gets you going. Alrighty, let's look at those examples. So first up, I have Hardy World Spades. And I chose this. Because Hardy has a definitely a solid community, and they come in to play spades. I really like how passionate they are in that world. And I've seen a lot of people collect these chairs for gameplay. They also have these card pickers, which I thought was pretty neat and pretty funny. All right, next up, shout out to Hardy West. Next up is Cave Survivor by Papa Hapa. I really liked this setup for his IWPs, his assets. And what was really cute, what really stuck out to me was this rubber chicken. So basically the game itself is you have to survive not getting drowned in a cave that is filling with water. And basically your opponents have to either kick you into the water, or you're going to have to basically accidentally go in. And getting beat up by a rubber chicken is really funny. Next up, we have Lights, Camera, Zombies by Well Played Studio. That is Kyle Render and Casey Mon. I chose this one because I really found these zombie masks really funny. But what's important is how they use them. So, for example, Danger Scout, Cowboy, and Mafioso all have the same face, but different hats. And that's a good use of assets. And so going lower, you have Flower Scout, Cowgirl, and Flapper, and it's the same situation. And I thought this was really clever use of of the space. And next up would be Battle for Steel City by RJ the Creator. And shout outs to King of Miami and Biggie Pauls for the scripting. So here, what's cool about this is he used this armor and helmet and created new skins for them on each selection. And that really maximizes the use of assets that you make, and so on. You could really expand on just one item you've created. Here is an example of the air boards. And same situation, you have one item, but different texture maps, So it really kind of stretches just one item out for you. I really like that butterfly skull one. All right. And then last up is Spin the Bottle by MetaJesus. This section right here definitely gives me the sense of fun. Shout outs to Emitron for her banana rifle, which is actually my favorite. And then you also have this skibidi toilet gun right there. I don't know. I find it really funny, and I know the kids do too. Samurai Tycoon by Immorgal. I did choose this one because first off, I spent a lot of time in there trying to collect all those swords. And my favorite is the giant kitchen knife. And all right. So these worlds provide items for customized gameplay, such as custom environmental elements, wearables in many customizable styles, fun weapons to choose, cool power-ups, and items to use for in-game travel, such as a hoverboard or a jetpack. And thank you for being here, seriously. And I said this earlier today, I'm going to say it again. For all those that are brand new to the MHCP, welcome. And I'm seriously thrilled that you are here, and I am excited to see what you all make, especially with this competition going or just learning. Please definitely post in the Discord what you're working on, all of your models or everything. Just don't be shy, because we are definitely there to help. Alrighty, so let's get to it. So earlier today, and I actually want to just give you a quick peek of what was made. We made a blaster. We're going to be doing weapons tonight. Okay, let's make this axe. Alrighty. So I'm going to do this really quick. Here we are. Okie dokie. So today, what I will be doing is teaching you how to model with the subdivision modifier. Hold on a sec. So the reason why I'm using the subdivision modifier is because number one, it's a really fun tool to use. And number two, we are going to make this model low poly, keeping it low poly as low as we can. So let's get to it. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and press Shift A, and I'm going to create my cube. And I'm going to bring this axe over so we can see it. Hold on 1 second. Okay. She's going to stay right there. Alrighty. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and take this cube and make it a sphere. I'm going to add a new modifier over here on the right-hand side. We're going to click on the wrench and add that modifier. Pressing search, I'm going to type out subdivision. It's at the top because I've been using it. So I'm going to just click that. And there we are. Look at that. We magically turned this cube into a sphere. Alrighty. So now let's make it into something. I'm going to go ahead and press tab to edit mode. Sorry, my bad. Then what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to just start off. I'm not going to make a tube for this guy. I'm going to just stay in this subdivision modifier for the entire build. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do face select mode, and then I'm going to select this top face. Alrighty. Pressing G and then Z, I'm going to bring it up. All right. However, now we have an issue. Well, first off, I'm going to just scale this down a little bit. Just a smidge. Where are you? What are you? Oh, what's going on? Why did that twist? All right. Funky things are happening, but that's all right. Okay. Now, the thing about the subdivision modifier is it's basically taking that square and it's turning into kind of like a malleable clay, right? But now this clay kind of needs supports for it to take shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control R, and then I'm going to create that support. As you can see, now I have some geometry being held up at this edge here. I'm going to do the same for the bottom. I'm going to do Control R to create an edge loop, and then I'm going to bring that down. All right, sweet. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a bit. Okay. G and Z. This blue line is the Z axis. So as you can see, I'm pressing G, Z, and this is for those who are brand new to Blender. We are pulling up and down on that Z axis. All right, sweet. Now what we want to do is we want to make this bottom part here. Now, normally I would probably create new geo and just add it. Actually, I think I will do that. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to tab back into object mode and create a new object. Shift A, then the cube. I'm going to go ahead and add that modifier because we are practicing with the subdivision modifier. Another thing to note is when you're building with the subdivision modifier, if you were to bring up the levels, it can get really expensive really quick, and we do not want that. So we're going to leave it at 1 and keep these models very, very simple and low poly. So putting this aside, I'm going to go ahead and on my keyboard, if you are a Windows user, you press 3. That way you can have what is called the side orthographic view. Then I'm going to go ahead and press tab to go into edit mode. Um, I'm going to go ahead and turn on X-ray mode. And what X-ray mode allows me to do is allows me to select right through all of this wireframing. Then what I'm going to do actually is check out this model here. I'm going to press S to scale. And then what I'm going to do is do Control R and create an edge loop, making sure that this geometry has enough support to take shape. I'm going to do the same for the top. So I'm going to do Control R, and then I'm going to bring it up. Boop, boop, boop. There we are. Now I'm going to go ahead and select on through again, keeping in mind that I am in X-ray mode on the top. See, toggle X-ray or Alt-C. Alrighty. Now I'm going to press extrude. And then I'm going to scale down. There we have it, that basic shape. I kind of want to give it a little more support. So first off, I'm going to do Shift Alt. What Shift Alt does is it selects the entire edge loop all the way through. I'm going to do G and then Z and then just kind of like really squish this in. And then I'm going to do Control R, select, and then bring that up too. That way I have that nice solid line all around. I'm going to check one more edge loop really quick. 1 second. I'm going to do Control R again. And then I'm going to just bring that bad boy down. All right, cool. Now I have that really cool shape on the bottom of my axe thingamajig. I don't know, the bottom of the hilt or something like that. Anyways, now let's think about the rest of this act. What do you think, chat, I should do next? Should I create new geo to create the axe? Or should I extrude it from this object? Sound off in the chat. Extrude. So the UV mapping will actually help me create different colors. And I have a gift for those who just joined. It is a trim sheet, and I'll show you how to use it later. Oh, you want to extrude? All right, let's extrude. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go back in there. I'm gonna make this smaller because it's distracting. There we are. There we are. Okay. I'm going to press tab to go back into edit mode. And then we're going to extrude. I'm going to press 3 to go into my orthographic view. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out this shape here. Okay. So let's try this. Okay. I'm going to press S to scale. Don't worry about the shape because I'm going to fix that. Alrighty. And then I'm going to do Control R. Whoops. Control. Come on. Hello. What am I doing? There we are. Oh, it was in the middle. And we're going to create this extra geo. so that there is support to create kind of this bevel, right? We're making that bevel so that the geo can say, hey, I can bend this way now. Because look what happens when I take that away. Now there's not enough support to create this. It's not a 90-degree angle, but this is an angle, so we need geo to support that. So I'm going to go ahead and press G, Z, and bring that up. And there you have it. You have that support. I'm going to go ahead and press this top face here. Actually, yeah. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E to extrude and do. And you have to do sound effects when you're modeling. It's just how it is. Anyways, I'm going to press 3 again, go back into this view. And what I want to do is press S to scale this up. And then I'm going to do Control R and then bring this up so that I have that support. Now, this looks a little too rounded out for me. I kind of want it to be a little more solid. So I'm going to go ahead. Here we are, another sound effect. There we go, and go. Perfect. Look at that. It's taking shape. It's a little thick. It's a little thickums, but I can just do this and press S to scale. GZ. Yeah, that's good. We can over exaggerate. We can over exaggerate it a bit because, I mean, really, this is fantasy and that's how it is. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab this top loop and then press E to extrude on that Z axis, GZ, and bring that up. I'm gonna bring it up there. I think so. And then we once again need that edge loop support to create this top edge to be much more muchier. That's a thing. All right, Control R and bring that up. And there we have it. Okie doke. Lots of cool stuff. I see there is an inner groove here, so let's make that happen. I'm gonna I need this to be a little sharper, so I'm gonna do GZ, bring that down a bit. Control R. I'm gonna bring that down. And don't be scared because there's going to be a lot of edge loops in this corner, but I promise you, trust the process. Control R, bringing it down. Control R again. And I'll tell you why. Now what we want to do is we want to take this middle edge loop and scale it down. Now, if I tab to object mode, now you see the magic. You see that little detail, that little groove there? Woo! Chef's kiss. Alrighty. Now that we have that all blocked out, yeah, any other stuff I can do later on. I like it. I like it. What do you guys think? Is it good? Sound off in the chat. Tell me, how am I doing? All right, cool. Very good. Very good. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn off X-ray mode. Oh, first off, there we are. First off, what I'd like to do, I'm I'll look at my wireframe really quick. Okay. Alrighty. So I feel happy with what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this modifier because I'm going to need the edge loops that are going to show up now. There we have it. Alrighty. So let's get to making this back portion of the axe. Part of me kind of wants to make new geometry for this part. Good, good. I'm glad you're here jamming out with me. I am glad you're here. Okay. So, what do I want to do? Do I want to extrude from this base? You're right, Clark. You're absolutely right. I kind of regret doing that because I could have just easily, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna Z it. You're right. Thank you very much. I'm Zing it. Okay. I'm back to this. And I'll tell you why. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually extrude from this side. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to go ahead and press I for inset. Inset is a really cool feature that we can do here. So pressing I, and then I'm going to scale it a little bit. All right, cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E to extrude. Nice. Don't worry about this because we need supports like we have been using all this time. What I'm going to do is create this first support. So I'm going to do Control R, and then I'm going to bring it back. And I think that's solid. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Alrighty. Now, I'll just put the edge loop, and if I need to change it, I will. All right, cool. But what I'm going to do, go back into this X-ray mode so I can then, doop. Actually, that. All right, G, and then Y, pulling along the Y-axis. And then I'm going to press S to scale, and I'm scaling by that Z-axis. All right, sweet. That's pretty solid. I'm going to go ahead and select this face. Selecting the face. All right, cool. Now what I'm going to do, and this is a pretty complex shape, but we're going to work it out. And we're going to figure that part out together. I'm going to press E to extrude. Alrighty. Then I want to actually extrude the top. And actually, please hold. Nope. Going to Y. Press E. And then scale by the Z axis. I know it looks a little wonky, but hear me out. And now it looks a lot better. Now we can work with this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this top face. Actually, I'm going to add geometry. So Control R, Whoa. No, that's not what I wanted. Control. Why is it going all the way? What am I doing? Interesting. I need a break here. Right, so I'm going to do Control R. No, actually, I got you. I got you, boo. I'm going to do GZ. Extruding. There we are. Problem solved. Gonna scale by the Y. And I'm gonna press G and then Y, and then I'm gonna bring that back. There we are. Now we're taking shape. Now we in the business. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do pretty much the same thing on the bottom, and then we'll model it some more. I'm gonna click on this bottom face, pressing E to extrude. And then I'm going to scale by the Y. And then I'm going to press G and then Y, and then bring this back. Alrighty. Pretty good. I'd like to work on this geo here, though. I'm going to do, to select the entire edge loop, I'm going to press Shift Alt. And then I'm going to press G and then Y and kind of really sandwich that edge loop to the next. That way I have a harsher line between this part and the blade. Alrighty, so then I'm going to select this face. I want to bring this out a little bit. I'm going to press G and then Y and then bring that out. Oh, that's huge. And that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and select this entire thing. Actually, no, I'm not in X-ray mode. X-ray mode. And then I'll do that again. And press S to scale. No, I'm messing it up. It's all right. And really, 3D modeling is problem solving. You find yourself doing more problem solving than anything throughout the process. To me, that's the fun part. You know, getting things to just work. You know, I'm gonna try to scale it from there. All right, solid. I'm gonna press G and then Y. Bring that up a little more. GZ a little bit. Alrighty. Take that out of X-ray mode. Let's take a good look at what we have so far. Alrighty, what do you think? Sound off in the chat. Let's get this party started. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see what you guys make. Seriously, when you guys practice this, definitely post in the Discord, post in what I'm building. That's the best place to post your 3D modeling and what you're working on. I love to see what people are making, especially on the art side of things. So super geeked about that. I definitely am excited for you guys and excited you're here. All right. So let's get to the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and press tab to go back into that edit mode. And let's go on this side now. I'm going to press this face here, and then I'm going to press that magic eye button I for insert. I'm eyeballing it now because, we're making it fantastic. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and go into orthographic view so I can see what I'm doing. Pressing E to extrude. And that seems about right. Now let's ensure that there is enough support for this edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control R. And then I'm going to bring this support down. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. And one more support, Control R, bringing it all the way up. All right, solid. You just have to take your time. I promise. The more you practice, the more like a lot of this stuff, it becomes mindless. Like most likely if I were to do this on my own, it would have been done already, but I am explaining things as I go. And you're going to get to that point. Like you really just have to be in it, practicing, doing as much as you can. Give yourself at least 20 minutes a day. Just open up Blender, play with the default cube, you know? I know that's blasphemous, but play with that cube, make it into something. Just press extrude until something makes sense. And I kid you not, the more you do that, the more you'll get comfortable with at least doing some light modeling in Blender. All right. So, am I in? No, I'm not. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and select these guys. I do realize that this needs to be thinner, but it's all right. I'm going to press S to scale. Actually, I'm not mad at it, but I'll work it out afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and grab this face. Then I'm going to go ahead and E to extrude. And I have my reasons. I'd like to make that little lip that goes before the blade. But before I do that, I'm definitely going to model the blade first. I think that's the way I'm going to go about this. Yeah. Good idea, guys. Good idea. All right, let's get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and press E to extrude. Going up top here, pressing E to extrude. So E to extrude again, and then I'm going to scale it by the Y. And then I'm going to go ahead and G Y and bring that back. Look at that. It's already looking dangerous. Okay. I'm going to select this bottom face here. E to extrude. And then E to extrude again. Pressing S to scale and Y. Make it nice and sharp. G and then Y. Fantastic. Now I'm going to make my adjustments. Select this, pressing G and then Y. Ooh, dangerous. Okay. That's looking great, I think. How's it look to you guys? Looking good? Yeah. Okay. What I want to do for this section is start to create some extra geo. So I'm going to do Alt E to extrude along faces. As you can see, now I have this little band forming here. Yeah, that's good. It's not squared off because, I mean, theoretically, if I really wanted it to be square, I would have to put some more geo in between. But I like the fact that it still feels low poly, so I'm gonna keep it the way it is for now. Yeah. Um, let's see what happens if I put another edge loop in this corner here. Control R and squeeze that in there. Yeah, that's a nice little detail. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the other side. Control R and squish. Very good. Yeah, looking dangerous. Face select mode. I kind of want to make this a little more pointier at the top. I don't know about you guys, but I like it pointy. G and then Y, but then I want to bring it GZ. I want to bring it up a bit. All right, sweet. Now what I'd like to do, I'm not going to make it circular, but I'm definitely going to do a little something here. So I'm going to select this face. I'm going to press I to inset. And then I to inset again. Then I'd like to E to extrude. Oh yeah, it came out circular anyways. Ah, that's fantastic. Oh, very nice. Let's do the same on the other side, just for practice. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do I to inset, I for inset again, and then I'm gonna press E to extrude. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and click out of this by pressing Tab to go into object mode. Tab is your friend. Please, please definitely utilize that Tab hotkey because it will make your workflow a lot quicker. Alrighty. What do you guys think about that design? Sound off in the chat. Talk to me. Talk to me. I think it looks good. Yeah. And guess what? You can do it too. You can do it too. You got the magic. I believe in you, superstars. Yeah. There's a little craziness going on here. Let me check this out really quick. Tab is maybe it's just me. Maybe if I were to select this entire loop by pressing Shift Alt and then just nudging it a little closer. G, Y, and let's get that sandwiched in better there. All right, cool. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's it. It's a matter of practicing those hotkeys. I did actually make a hotkey sheet. It's in the library. It's called Space Glitter's Guide to the Blenderverse, and I kept it really simple and short so that it's easy to navigate. All right. So, what do you guys think? You wanna texture this? Let's do it. Yeah, let's texture this guy. I like it. I do. Okay. So, for you amazing, wonderful people, I created something extra special. I created a trim sheet just for you. In this trim sheet, there are different options to use. In this section, you have your roughness. Basically, there's no shine in this section, and I'll show you how it works. This section, you get your shiny plasticky material, and this is all one big sheet. On this section, it's all labeled metallic, and then down here will be your emissive items. Definitely, you could literally build an entire world with this one texture. That's if you like kind of like that. I am going to use this. Oh, thank you, YG. So I am going to use this to basically color my axe, and we could do different colors if we want. Make it shiny, you can make it bubblegum colored, you can make it anything really. And afterwards, after we learn how to do that, I will be sending this to you. So I am really excited for you guys to play around with this. Okay, so let's get to it. Oh, and another thing is that this also comes with the texture. So these two textures come in together into Horizon in order for you to be able to take advantage of the metallic and the emissive. So that's just the side note. Alrighty, so let's get to UV editing this guy. But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this modifier. Okay, I'm gonna go to UV editing. And for the sake of UV editing, what I had to do, and I'll take this away, is create two separate textures in the file, and you'll see two of them. If I were to go into the materials tab, you will see colors and colors UV. To UV unwrap this and color it, we're going to use the colors UV texture. And then when you're done, you're going to be switching back to colors. And I'll tell you why. Because with the shininess and the metallic comes some very transparent texture, and I'll show you that example. As you can see here, we can't see the color. So it's going to be hard for us to handpick which color you want to choose when it comes to shiny and metallic. So I provided you an alternative to play around with so that you can pick your colors really nicely. Alrighty. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this view for a second. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start chopping this up. So let me do a quick, kind of like a quick rundown on UV maps. Actually, let me ask you, do you guys know what UV mapping is? Like, sound off in the chat. Do you know what it's all about? Like, why is it so important? That chocolate keeps showing up and I want chocolate now. Chocolates. If you know me, you know I'm crazy when it comes to chocolate. I love chocolate. Chocolates. Sound off. Does anybody know what UV wrapping? I keep seeing that chocolate. To make textures go around the model properly. Yeah. You're mapping polygons, squares in this case, to a texture. You're deciding which square goes where. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You're basically taking a 3D model and you're telling Blender, okay, let's make this 2D so that I can paint it. So for example, if you were to take, I always like to use this example, a cereal box, because that was actually my favorite thing to do as a kid was after you're done with the cereal, there's always a lot of games in the back you could cut out and like draw on it or characters to cut out. But let's think about the box itself, right? The box has corners and it has flaps, right? So let's say you were to take a big pair of scissors and you were to cut the box at the corners. Do, 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 do. And then the bottom flaps, you open them up. Now what happens? You're going to take that box and you're going to lay it on the table. Now that once was a 3D object is now a fully flat 2D object to play around with. And that's basically what we're doing. We're just basically taking that and making it flat. Another great example is anybody who likes to sew. Basically kind of like the sewing pattern. Like, so if you were to take a sleeve and cut it by the seams, you could lay it flat and you could see the pattern of that sleeve, and so it's basically the same concept. So let's get to it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this guy into sections so we can choose some cool colors. I'm going to go ahead and, all right, I am on edge select mode. I'm going to press, I am still live, baby. Sorry. My kids. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift Alt. And then I am going to I'd like to select this edge here. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to do what's called mark seam. And let's see what happens when I do so. Mark seam. There's that red line. So that red line indicates that I just cut along that edge loop. Doop, doop, doop. Now that edge loop, well, theoretically, that edge loop just separated those UV islands. That's what they're called, UV islands. So let's keep going. Let's keep taking this apart. I'm going to go ahead and select this edge loop. So I'm going to do Shift Alt, right click, and then I'm going to mark seam. And I don't know why that came into. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. All right, so that's Shift Alt, and then I'm going to click, and then right click, mark seam. Once again, oh my goodness. Thank you. Shift Alt, click, right click, mark seam. Mark seam, mark seam. I'd like for this item here to kind of be like a jewel. So the mark seam is this. It's that pair of scissors that you took to the cereal box and you just cut the edge of that cereal box so that it can open up. That's what we're doing. We're cutting along these wonderful lines. All right, I'm going to go ahead, Shift Alt, select, right click, mark seam. Again on this side. Shift Alt, select, right click, mark seam. I'd like for these hearts to be different colors too. So let's make that happen. Okay, I'm going to do Shift Alt, select, right click, mark seam. I do have a separate item there, but we're going to ignore that for now. All right, sweet. So there are more issues at play. And why is this here? All right. Clear seam uh clear seam will take away those lines that you did not want to select. Like here. Sweet. Always inspect your model. I like to do a few nice little orbits around. So here's an issue. If I were to want to slice this in half with that shift alt, look what happens. Because it's really good edge flow, it's going to take this and slice it all the way in half. I don't necessarily want that. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some of this by hand. So I'm going to go ahead and select. And what I can do now is press Control, click, Control, click, Control, click, Control, click. Boom. Alrighty. I think that's good. So I'm going to right click and mark seam. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. No, see, that's why I have to trace along. Sweet. Okie doke. Right click, mark seam. Absolutely fantastic. Actually, I'm going to need a seam going through here so it can open up. So I'm going to go ahead and Shift Alt. I'm going to do this. Yeah. Do I want this top piece to be by itself? Yeah, why not? Right click, mark seam. All right, cool. That's going to open up. And I would like for this part to open up as, actually, I could go all the way down. I could. Whoops. Oops. Come on. I got too clicky. I got too clicky. All right, Control. Perfect. All right, right click, mark seam. Okay, now that all of that is going to open up really nicely. Yeah, I mean, so ukulele, I'm using a trim sheet. So how it's unwrapping right now, we're keeping it really simple for those who are brand new. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so here comes the, whoa, there are issues over here. Let's fix that. I'm going to go ahead. Right click, clear seam. Alrighty. Right click, mark seam. Okie dokie. I think that's good for this main section here. So now let's get to the awesomeness. Actually, one more check. Let's get this to open here. I mean, theoretically, this part should be deleted, but I'm going to leave it. Right click, mark seam. All right, let's do that. That way that opens up. Okay. Now I'm going to do A so that I can see my entire UV on this UV viewport here. Then, now that I have everything selected by pressing A, I'm going to Right click, unwrap, and now I have all my wonderful sections here. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just move this aside. Now, be mindful that we are not going for perfect UVs at the moment, but that will come later on. And then go ahead and expose this texture. Look at that. All right, cool. So yeah, smart UV in this situation will not help you that much because we want to choose what colors go in what section, right? So my question to you is, what colors should I make this 3D model? Please sound off in the chat. What colors do you want? What kind of awesome sauce weapon do you want to fight with? Orange. Hey, primo! I'm so happy to see you here. Glowing blade. Okay. I like the glowing blade. What colors should the blade glow? Is the question. Blue, black, and gray. I like the glowing blade. Is it like a blue, majestic glowing blade? You know? Mm. Sound off in the chat. Neon blue. Necromancer green. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm like envisioning like very League of Legends type of attacks right now, and it feels awesome. Yes. By the way, Arcane. Ugh, I can't get enough of that show. Um, super amazing, super amazing art, the art and the acting and the 3D models, and a lot of it is hand animated too. Is just all right. Glowing blue, cyan. Alrighty, so let's do it. So I'm going to press A, and right away, so because I don't have these UVs activated just yet, we're just going to see the colors flat, but knowing that we are using the corresponding color styles in the chart. So I'm going to go ahead and find, I believe, it's this guy here. So actually, this one is the metallic one. This one should be, yeah. Do. Keeping in mind that this will be the emissive. What do you think about that color? Oh, yes. Everything I'm working with today, right now, is going to be sent to you guys afterwards. So definitely, yes. And I can't wait to see what you guys do with these assets. I want you to practice. I want you to color them like every single color of the rainbow, like make attachables even, do a lot of fun stuff to them and send me pictures. Alrighty. So, what do you think? Is that a good color for the blade? I kind of like the necromancer green though, to be honest with you. I could do that afterwards. That's fine. Alrighty. Um, should I do like the picture of metallic on these guys here? What do you think? Yes. Should it be like A dark metal, or should it be that traditional gold? Do this. Gold. Alrighty. Scaling that down. And let's take a look. Ooh, that's looking good. Alrighty. Okay. Go ahead and select that. Yeah. Scaling it. There we are. Whoops, did I take the wrong thing? What was that piece? Hmm. All right, I'm gonna scale that back up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I lost my train of thought there. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring all of this down. And actually, let me find this guy here. This guy goes with it. This guy goes with it. All right, sweet. There we are. Bring that all down there. And let's take a look. Oh, yeah, that's looking really sweet. So, like I said, like, oh, you want dark? I see. How about let's do like a whoa. Looks like a very World of Warcrafty type of situation there. I wish I had gray colors here. I'm gonna have to make another trim sheet, but that will be for something else then. Um, yeah. I don't know if I like the dark too much. Let's bring it. How about no, let's go back to gold. Let's go back to gold. It's fine. This is gonna be the hardest choice is what colors are you going to use? And it's a good choice. It's a good choice to have. Alrighty. So now this would be this guy here. This is the what's supposed to be kind of like a wood texture. And we're going to just use one of these colors here. Um yeah, I don't have any browns here either. Ooh, I'm gonna have to fix that. That's all right. But you guys can see it. Fantastic. Alrighty. I'm going to make these gemstones an emissive. Green. I want it to be this limey green. Alrighty. And you know what? I want this back end to be kind of like, I don't know, a silver or something. Press G. Is that a dot on my screen? Yes, it is. I had a dot on my screen. I thought it was a vertice somewhere. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go ahead and scale this down. And I do realize there's not much of a metallic, but I'm gonna just choose one of these guys. Like a silver or something. Alrighty. So let's take a look at our guy here. Nice. Now let's switch up the texture map by going up here, switching from colors UV to what we're going to import into Horizon, which is colors. Alrighty. Look at that. What do you think? Sound off in the chat. What do you think? I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know. You could do Clark, you could do whatever color you want, you know? Like, for example, and actually, I'd like to color this really quick. Um, and I'm just going to, oh, this one needs its modifier to be applied. Applying that modifier, then pressing Tab, A. This one needs a material to be added. A, unwrap, and I'm gonna just scale that down. And I bring it down over here. Really quickly. All right, cool. I'm gonna join these two together. Control. No meshes. What is going on? Control J. All right, cool. Now when I press Tab, I should see. I knew it. Bring this over here. Bam. Now we have a wonderfully textured X. Now you can make any color you want. Not sure if mentioned, but there here. Yeah, so the reference image is a bit different because I mean, first off, I did refer to AI to create this, and AI is a good tool to find yourself some good inspiration for items. However, this one in particular has a lot of triangulation in the geometry. So that would make for a definitely a different look. However, for this case and for the sake of having clean geometry to cut through, we are keeping it simple by modeling with quads. Quads, I kid you not, I would not try to attempt to model with tries, because you won't have a good time, especially when trying to bring those into Horizon. You may end up with n-gons, you may end up with non-manifold. It's just a lot of weird issues that would happen. So when you're modeling, keep your models to quads at first, and then when you need to like decimate or something, the decimation will create the tries for you. That's just a little tip. Um, and that's if you are working with high poly models too, and you want to bring that down. Decimation is the way to go, but you have to be careful with that too, because you may lose some shape. So it really depends. No, you won't. It's kind of like a hit or miss for sure. You're absolutely right. So Clark, yes. So what I did, when I created this texture map for you guys, last minute, I didn't realize, or I mean, I did know, but I just didn't think of it, that when you're making the items shiny or metallic, the roughness will bring down the transparency. So, with that said, I had to then create another map so that you can use to pinpoint where the colors are. As you can see, now I can use this chart to pinpoint which colors I want. And then before you bring this into Horizon, you have to be mindful that the color that you're going to use is this one, which I had actually labeled in the care package that I made for you guys, colors_BR. Everything is named properly. Colors MEO, these two will come in together. So you're going to have shiny, metallic, and emissive and roughness all in one texture, in one trim sheet setting, along with the MEO, which allows you to have that metallic and emissive. So you can have it all in one shot. Keeping it super simple. Like I said before, you could literally build an entire world with this rainbow color set. That's if you like that style. That's very simplistic style. I don't know if you know the company Cinti that does those assets. Well, you can make those too with the trim sheet as such. Yes, the UV map is pure colors and the other texture. Yes, that's correct. Yes. So it's all in the care package. And as you can see, I did label this as such. So this texture map was designed to pair nicely with this MEO texture. So if you try to use the metallic and not bring in that MEO, you're not going to get the emissive or the metallic. So there's that. All right. So I am done with this. And seriously, thank you for being here. Everybody that is brand new to the MHCP, welcome, and I'm excited for you. Bye.